Hello again, friends. Welcome to my channel. This is Sharon from Mad Paper Crush, and today I wanted to do some November setup in my bullet junk journal. So I thought I would bring you along with me as we did that. So this is the altered book that I've been using to do my bullet journaling in the style of junk journaling. So I will be working in this book as we go, and I'll kind of give you a step-by-step on how I'm doing things. There are some other people who are doing this too, and it's been so much fun to just kind of see what everybody else is doing. I love working in this style. It makes me feel very creative, and I just love it. So this is the last week that I've planned so far. So this is the last week of October, which I haven't really started anything because Monday the 26th is tomorrow for me as I'm recording this, but it'll be yesterday when I get this posted. So this is the week that we're in right now. And then what I want to do, because Sunday is November 1st, I want to just kind of close out October and do like a November start. So a title for November to get the month going. So what I've done was, this page is kind of ready for me to go, but before I start, I like to prep the next pages so that when I start working on this side, it won't just be a single sheet of paper there. So I'll show you what I'm going to do in just a minute, but I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of some of the things I might be using. This is definitely kind of, journal along with me or plan along with me. So I have some planner stamps that I had gotten. So things that have the weeks on them, because I'd like to do the first week of November and have that ready to go. It's got little ticket or a tag here and weather and all kinds of stuff. I don't know how much of that I'll be using. This is the months. So I've already used this actually to create my November month here. I always like to have the full month kind of in this format: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's how my brain sometimes works to figure out, what day of the week and that kind of thing it is. So I've created this to put on my title page as well. Also the month I'm putting on there too. And then this last one is just the months and some numbers, and there's some things for some of the tags and stuff like that. So I thought some of these might be fun for the journaling pieces as I start to go through, putting everything together. I also may use some of my stamps. So I have just some little letter stamps here that are kind of typewriter-ish, and then also some a little bit larger, and these are all uppercase letters as well that I may be using. I'm not sure how much. And then I pulled out a bunch of papers. So I just pulled out some scrap pieces that I thought looked nice together. I don't know how many of these I'll be using, but I just pulled them all out to see what we could put together to get this going. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to prep my next pages. So like I said, I have my last week of October, the week planned out here, all ready to go. I'm going to do sort of my wrap up for October on this side and start my title page for November on this side. But because I haven't prepped these pages yet, this is a single sheet. So I want to first prep over here so that I can be working on a little bit sturdier pages, and they'll be ready to go when I'm ready to move on. So usually what I do is I tear out 7 pages. So I flipped that page over. So this is where I'm going to work. I flipped that page over. I'm going to tear out 7 pages, and this was from Barbara at 49 Dragonflies. She's been tearing out 7 in hers, and that seems to be working. And so far in mine, it seems to be working pretty well also. Now, I am working in a book that has sewn signatures and not glued signatures. So I have to be careful because the pages could possibly start to come out. So I'll show you what I'm doing to kind of counteract that. But certainly if I go into another book, I'm probably going to look for a glued in book, just because I think it won't be so hard to be sure this doesn't fall apart. So I lost count of how many I was doing. I'm at 4. So let me do 3 more. And you can kind of see it's hard for me to even get down to the edge. So I have a lot of sort of bulk in the middle there. I'm going to try and work some of that out as well. before we move on. So you can see when I tear this, you can kind of see how it's pulling the other side of the signature. And that's because these are sewn and not glued in. So, like I said, we're trying to work with it, and I think it's been going okay so far, but I do need to just be careful. So now I'm just going to try to get some of that bulk out of there so that when I glue my pages together, you won't, see too much of this. And this doesn't always work as well as I'd like it to. Sometimes I've had some lumps in here where you can kind of see where my pages have been torn out, but once again, I'm just going to do my best to get this where I want it to be. So that looks pretty good. So now before I glue them together, I'm going to take my 3-in-1 glue here. Let me just move these out of the way. Actually, I'm just going to throw them under here. I'm going to use my 3-in-1 glue to glue down into the seam. And I'm hoping that when I do that, it will kind of, any of the pages that are connected to another one in the signature that might pull out, I'm hoping that this glue will kind of hold things together in here for me so that I don't have to worry about the book falling apart. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down there, and I'm going to run my finger in there to kind of smush it all down and hopefully keep all of these pages together. All right. So that's my first start. Now I'm going to glue these pages together so that you don't see this part. And to do that, I'm putting a little piece of deli paper in here to kind of protect my other pages from any glue that I might get on here. I'm going to use my Oohoo glue stick to do this, and then I will probably smooth it down with my little brayer here. So let's go ahead and put some glue on. Ah. And I'm really gonna try and make sure the edges are done as much as I can. And as you can see, my page has been flipping up, so I've got glue all over the place already. So now I'm just gonna take this page and flip it over, try and line it up as best I can with this page. And then I'll just take my brayer and smooth everything out as best I can here. And now I have 2 pages glued together, but 7 pages taken out in between these 2. And the next step of what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to leave this in here a minute because I think I did get glue kind of on this side, and I don't want my other pages to stick together. So till that dries, we're just going to keep this paper in there. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I'm also going to try and reinforce this seam a little bit. So I haven't torn anything out from here, but because I'm going to be working on these pages, I do want to reinforce them a little bit. And what I'm going to do that is I'm going to use some washi tape. Now I'm going to try to get some glue down in there first. And I will be using my 3-in-1 glue again for this part, just to be sure my washi tape stays in place. So I'm just going to put a little bead in here. I'm going to try and hit the sides just a little bit. And once again, I'm going to use my finger to spread it around a little. And then you can either do, like I'm just going to try and do 1 strip here of washi tape, but you could do it, 3 different ones or something like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and fold this washi tape a little bit in half so that the sticky side is on the outside. And this is just so that I can try to get it into the crease as best I can. So I'm folding that inside out, and then I'm kind of pulling it real tight. And then I'm going to put it down into the crease as far as I can. Hopefully I've done that. And before I push it down, I am going to just try to make sure I've got it in the crease as best as I can there. And this adds a little bit of extra reinforcement to the pages that I'm working on. But, if you use washi tape that you love, then it also it adds some more decoration to your page as well. So let me put my caps on here. And now you can see I've done the same thing here. I have my next page ready to go. And this one we'll have to work on if I move on from that. Okay, so now hopefully this is all dry. Now I like to just start working right on the pages that are here. I like the look of words. I love words all over the page. So I like to just kind of work from here. So I don't often, as you can see, I don't often like cover up the entire page. Like I leave some of the words coming out sometimes, but sometimes like my week page that I put in here covered up everything. So I just like to kind of start right here, right natural, fresh to go. So I was thinking on this side, I would do my October sort of wrap up. So what I think I might use for that, or I was thinking, was I would use this guest receipt. And I liked it because it had lots of place for me to sort of just write some things down on, but it has kind of a neat look to it, some cool numbers on there as well. And then as I thought about it, I thought, well, maybe I should put a piece of paper. I thought it might be nice to put a piece of paper underneath just to give this a little bit more texture. And I may do some collaging around here as well, but I think this is where I want to start for this side. So let me move all of my goodies out of the way, and then we can get started with this. I'm going to put this down here because I might need a glue pad there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pencil. And actually, let me cut this down first to get this where I want it. And I do think I am going to pretty much cover the entire page here. So I'm just going to make a couple of little marks so I know where to cut. And, you know, they're just close, but let's see if I can find them now. And I'll put the offshoots with my extras there because I think that, you know, if I need to, it'll be good to have these extra pieces to tie in other places if I want to. And that's the great thing. You don't have to. Okay, so now I can decide, you know, if I want to do a little distressing on this, which I think I will. Actually, let me grab this paper. It might be easier. And I'm using Vintage Photo. It is pretty much my favorite, so I use it a lot. And I just want the edges just barely done there, just so they don't look so white on the edge. And while I'm at it, maybe I will go ahead and distress my check here too. It has this, I think it's from there's like it's not a carbon copy, but it makes a copy. I don't even know what you call that, like a thermal copy, or I don't even know. I don't even know why I'm trying to guess. But it has looks like some ink on there already, so I'm just kind of adding a little bit to it, and I may even go through right on top and add some browns in there a little bit. Yes. Okay. So I have my two pieces, and now we can glue them on. So, you know, however you want to glue these on, you can. I think I'm going to glue this one on first, and then we'll glue the entire thing on the page. Okay, so this is my November title page, and like I did way back in September, I added a quote to my September title page. So creativity is the way I share my soul with the world. That was from Brene Brown. And I like the idea of sort of setting an intention with a quote maybe to start the month off. So I'm going to do the same thing for November. And the quote that I chose is, "The struggle ends when the gratitude begins." And that's Neil Donald Walsh. So I really liked that for November, being, Thanksgiving is coming up. I thought that it would be important for me, or my intention for this month is to focus on gratitude. So that's the quote that I'm going to use, and I will probably put it on this piece of paper somehow. But as I was thinking through, I not only wanted to have a quote on there, I kind of wanted to have a place to jot some things down about my goals or my intentions, for the month myself. So, and because that might be something that's a little more private, I thought it would be fun to put it on a tag. So I made this tag here with a place where I could put that journaling on, and I thought I'd make this into a pocket so that I could take it out. I could do my journaling on here. I could pull it out throughout the month and have it with me. But this would also add some more visual, tactile things to my journal. And then the other things that I know I want to add are my overview month and the actual month itself, so that I have that right in front of me. So I don't know where, I'm going to put all these yet, but that's what I was planning to do. So before I get started on that, I wanted to try to stamp this quote. So I wanted it to be in stamps. I don't know, that's, just how I wanted to do it. And I'm going to find a color here. I think I'm going to try to do sepia for the quote. And I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we'll see how it actually turns out. Sometimes this doesn't always work the way that I want it to, but we're going to see how it goes. So before I do that, though, I am going to try to rip this down so that I don't, end up going too far over or something like that. So I want to have the piece of paper that's going to fit on here, and then I will put the quote on it. So that's about perfect size, and I don't know where, exactly I'll put it, but this is what size I'm going to use for this quote. So I want to be sure that the quote fits on here, and we'll see how that goes. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Okay, it fit, and you can see I stamped one of the letters sideways, but that's okay. You can still read it, right? So I do like the way it turned out. I think it looks good. So I'm going to add some distress around here for my pocket here. And then also the other thing that I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make a thumb notch in the green part. So I want to do all that before I put it down. And I may even add some sewing onto that too. So I like that so far. And then I'm just going to add a little notch in the top of, let me see, I want to be sure that whatever way I put this down will fit my tag. So let me just make sure. Yeah, I think that's the wide way here. So I'm going to put this, just going to measure this up a little. See, let's see, it's about 4 inches. I don't know, sometimes I don't make a mark, sometimes I need to make a mark because I feel like it will be completely off center if I don't. So I don't know where that, oh, there it is. There that went. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm thinking here. And I'm going to add some distress. And then after I do the distress, I'm going to go and just sew around this whole thing so that it'll have some stitching with it. All right, put some stitching on here. I'm going to add this, move that out of the way, grab my glue book again, and let's go ahead and put this on. And so basically what I want to try to do is get most of the base pieces down, you know, that I know for sure that I want to have in there, the parts that might be functional or, you know, that I just know that I want in there. And then I'll go back and do like some decorating and things like that. So I like how that turned out so far. And this should fit right in there. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. And to glue it down, I am going to use, actually, I think I might use my glitter glue for this. It'll grab a little faster. And all I'm going to do is add glue to the 3 sides of my pocket here. Yeah. Oh. Okay. And I don't think I want it right at the bottom because I am going to add some more of these other elements. So I'm just going to hold this down for a second until the glue grabs for me. And then, so you can see I have some additional elements here that I want to add in. So I'm not sure where I'm going to put all those yet, because obviously I don't want to cover some of these things up. Kind of like that. That's not, actually I could probably cut that down a little bit. Oh no, I'll have to do some thinking about that. I think I might try to cut this down just a little bit so that it will fit at the bottom, because I liked the way this one looked kind of off to the side like that. So I'm just going to cut even closer to the edges of this, and I may even try to cut down some of the sides. So not everything works out exactly the way you want on the first try. And since I wasn't really sure where I was going to put everything, you know, that's the main reason. So I am going to try and round these corners again because I like the way that looked. If I can do that in here, my little corner rounder. There we go. Let's see if that fits. Yes, I think I can make that fit there. And I kind of like the way it comes off the bottom, and this one comes off the side. Okay, so a little distressing. Okay, and then we'll use my glitter glue again for this. Put these down. Hopefully I've got that relatively even. And I want this one in just a little bit so you can see the edge of the paper and the pocket here. So now I have my month overview, which I love to have, like I said, because I probably will reference it a lot. And then we have a tag here ready to go. And I thought that now I think I'll go back in and do a little decorating. So for my October overview, I think I might do a little more stamping here. So, or not overview, this is more of a October in review, I think. And since these numbers are in black, I think I'm going to use black here. So I just thought it would be fun to do. I'll do some small, well, this paper takes the ink very well. I pushed hard for that O, and you can see how it kind of started to run out. But T, don't need to really push on this paper. October. And then I'm just going to put, I think I'm going to put October in review. So I'll speed this up. Okay, I did an okay job of that. Not perfect once again, but I love that it's not perfect, that you can tell that something is handmade. I love that. Okay, so now for my October in review, I'm going to do a little bit of decorating. So I'm going to grab my little ephemera book that I have here. And I was thinking I would add, I love these little dolls that Deb Kirchhoff makes. She's ex-Cuisart, I believe, in some of her platforms and things like that. But I love them. They're so cute. And I thought this one might be good since this is the end of October. And she kind of looks like, you know, I mean, she looks like she's been crying, but it's a little kind of costumey look to her. So I think I'm going to put her in there. I like the way that looks. And then I was thinking also, I might add a couple of other little bits around here. Actually, let me just pull this out and see what we got. Look through and see what we can find. And I thought it might be fun to add something, since I don't have anything underneath here. I thought it might be fun to have some things coming out here. So we'll have to see what we can find for that as well. So I'm going to just put this to the side so I can kind of look to see what I've got. So I've got some tickets I could use. I love tickets. Tickets are always fun to use. Let's see what we got. I kind of want to try to sort of match the colors maybe. That one might be fun underneath here. Have it kind of sticking out. Actually, maybe even sticking out over on this side. That might be fun there. And of course I've got numbers and labels and all sorts of things. I thought it might be fun to put in a couple of these advertisements. Let me see if I have something that might work underneath there as well. Maybe we can do not sure I like that. This is always the hardest part, right? There we go. That might be fun. Yeah, I think I like that. And I have my little shiver labels that are always fun to use. And I thought maybe another, like a label over here might be fun. Let me see what I can find that might work. Kind of match her black and white vibe there. I think I might want it on the other side though. Owl. Decisions. It's always so hard. Ooh, how about a round one? That might be fun. I think that's the only one I have right now. Yeah, that might be fun. Let's try that. And then what else do I have here? Okay, actually, I think that might be pretty good. I might just want something else over here. Maybe one of my little numbers. Let's see if we have, I need to print some more of these out. I've been using them so much. Ooh, here's one that actually has November on it. That might be fun right there. Yeah, I think I like that. Let me just look and see what else we got here to see if there's anything else that maybe jumps out at me. Something fun. I like having little bits of black popping out here and there. So I think I might use those too. Okay, let me just put this back together so stuff doesn't go flying everywhere, because that's usually how I roll. And then I am going to do a little distressing. So I'm not a perfect cutter outer, so I want to be sure that my edges are all taken care of, except for her. I might just leave her the way that she is. I'm not sure I want to add anything, especially brown, to her. But all these other ones can use a little distress. Same with my ticket. And these, my tickets and the advertisements and the numbers, I'll link all those kits down below if you're interested in taking a look at any of those. My found numbers, which I love. I use these everywhere on different things. Maybe even that goes there. I like it. I like it. Okay, so let me grab my glue pad and let's get all these glued down. Okay, I think I have everything ready to go. And you'll see some of the things that I glued down, I glued, you know, off the end of the page. So I am just gonna take my scissors here somehow and just cut the excess off for these. All right. And I was thinking I might need a pop of color or something, but then I thought, oh wait, I have my tag, which is pretty colorful here. So when that goes in, I'll have these blues that are coming out with the greens. So I think that's it for my October in review and my November title page. Now what I do want to do is I'm going to also do the first week of November. So I'll kind of show you how I work through that as well. So we're going to start on this page. So if you remember, the first thing that I do when I'm working on a new page is I will fix this page. So right now this is a single page. So I'm going to go through and do the same thing that I had done before, tear out my 7 pages, add my glue, glue the sheets together, and then also add some washi tape for some extra reinforcement in the crease. So I'll speed all that up, but that's what I'm going to do right now.